Oh, Sophia, would you please introduce me?
What? Sorry?
Okay, welcome to everybody.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
my name is Noemi Hajdu, and I'm from Hungary, from the north part of Hungary, from the University of Miskolc. We have met with Sophia and Maria in 2019, I guess, in December. Yes, almost 1.5 years ago. I would like to say thank you. It's a great honor
Oh,
to me that we can meet again and we can continue our lecture. Sophia asked me to make a lecture today about service marketing. So I would like to share my screen. I send my PPT to Sophia. So Sophia, you can send it to the students, please. And I
Mhm.
also put it here into the chat. Can you see my PPT?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So service marketing is a very special field, and we will speak about it why. So it's at first we will think it's a product, but of course there are differences. We will respect it as a product, regarding as a product, but we will have to know this unique differences, and we will have to deal with these differences. So we will speak about it today. So how we usually make it. So I would speak the very basic of the product and services. We will speak the importance of service marketing. Why is it important nowadays? We will speak about the service marketing strategies in case of the different firms, some words about the international service marketing, and I will show you some practical example, some case studies. And of course, we will play a Kahoot game. I made today a Kahoot game for you. And after it, we will speak about your questions. But you can interrupt me in any PPT. So please, if you have some question, or if I do not say everything what is important for you, please interrupt me and please let me know, and then I will tell it further. I will say it detailed. So, I really like the Kotler's books. So of course, the very basic is this Kotler book. You can find it in the internet. I think I put the link into the presentation. So why is it important? Why service marketing is so important nowadays? I wanted to put here this value creation and satisfaction model. This is a very basic model. I'm sure that you understand this, but I would like to speak the same language with you. So that's why I put it here. So what is in the very first place? We have to understand the marketplace. We have to understand the customer needs and the customer wants. Sometimes we customer even doesn't know what we would like to have, what we would like to buy. We have some idea, something like this, something like that. And if we find that product, if we find that services which is similar to our needs, which is similar to our wants, then we will be very happy. So understand the marketplace. A marketplace can be a segment when we grouping the customers. A marketplace can be, for example, the different markets, the Russian markets, the Hungarian markets, and so on. So the different countries' markets. Okay, or for the markets of the different target groups. So we really have to know our customers. In December, we made a lecture on consumer behavior. So the segmentation features is really important here in case of the services as well. The second thing in this process, the second steps is the marketing strategy. So we have to create our marketing strategy according to our customer needs, our
Yes, you
customer
do it.
wants. So that is the special in case of marketing, this that the focus is our customers and our customers' demands and needs. Okay, so that is different into a marketing concept and a normal market concept, maybe a manufacturer concept. On the third place, there is an integrated marketing program. It can be either the marketing communication, or we can think of the 4 Ps: the product and services, the price, the place, and the promotion. And what is important nowadays is to deliver a value, deliver a differentiated value to our customers. It's very important that this value should be different as our competitors' value. And sometimes we can make this difference with the help of the product quality, sometimes with the marketing communication, sometimes the branding can make a difference. In December, we made a lecture on branding. You can remember back that the brands always helps in the differentiation of the different firms, of the different products. So that's why, that's how we can deliver this value, this unique value, what our customers want. Nowadays the customers doesn't searching for an exact product. They need something more, something extras, something plus services, and so on. We will speak about it further. And then if we know this value, for example, this can be the unique value proposition. I'm sure that you have heard about this. And then when we know this value, we have to communicate it, this value. And we have to create our customer circle, and we have to build relationship, direct relationship with our customers. And then in this way, hopefully, our customers will be satisfied, and this satisfaction means a great profit, a great return to our company. I put this PPT again because I think I thought that maybe there will be new students too. So consumer satisfaction is really important. When are we satisfied? How can I say? We buy a product, we got a service, and when we got more than we originally expected, we will be satisfied. Okay, so it's always also important to get more, to give more, and only in this case we will be satisfied. And what about the market offerings? Of course, in the markets there are lots of competitors. These competitors offers of us different products, different services, and different journey, I mean different experiences for the customers. And to tell you the truth, these market offerings are not only the products. Of course, we give, if we only dealing with the products, for example, just think of online buying and online marketing. Tomorrow we will speak about digital marketing. And if you order something on a web shop, okay, it will be a product maybe, but you always get a service to this. What kind of service? What do I mean? For example, when you pay the product, it will be a financial service. And when they deliver the product, it will be a delivery service. Okay. So you have to think back for this, that every product means itself a service as well. When we get the product, when we get something extras. I'm sure that you experienced it when you get something more from a shop. So, for example, here in Hungary, when I bought a handmade soap from a Hungarian manufacturer, they put there a little card, and on the card there was a personal message that, "Hi Noemi, I am Linda, and I'm packaging this soap for you. I hope you will like it." And she signated it. Okay, it's just a 1 minute long message. But it was so good for me. It was personalized. And I was very happy that I know that it was Linda who packaged me this soap. Okay. Or another example. For example, when I really like old books, unique books, and I collect it. And when I can buy it from the antiquated, in some antiquated bookstores, they ask that, do I want to have a present, a gift book as well? And I always say yes. And it's very interesting. I got really good books as a present, and it's a plus service in case of that antiquated bookstore. Okay. And that's why if I can, I order from them, because I will get a book for free. Okay. So this can be unique service in case of a physical product. So how you can see in the PPT, so it can be a service. It can be a plus activity. For example, there are another web shops when I order something, they always call me that is it good for you if we post it today and tomorrow your ordering will be there. Or we got some benefits. Maybe you got a service on the internet, and maybe you got a checklist. Before COVID, when I could traveling, I always packaging according to the checklist. So when I make my insurance, my traveling insurance, I always got a checklist what to package. And it's so good because I never forget anything. Okay, so it can be only these little things to get a checklist, for example. Okay, so we can say these things are essentially usually intangible, and the results is to make the clients happy, to give something more, to give something extra to the clients. So these market offerings can be an entity, can be a person, a place, an organization, an information, an idea, or anything. Okay, so you can think of this back. And here is the 7 P's of the service marketing. So we have learned the easy 4 P, the product, price, place, and the promotion. And we have 3 plus P, the people, the process, and the physical environment. So in case of the people, usually when we buy a service, it's connected directly to a people. Just think of when you go to the hairdresser to cut your hair, to paint your hair, or anything like this. You will choose the person, not the service, I guess. And with that person, maybe you have close connection, you have friendship with that person, and you trust in that person that that friseur, that hairdresser will make your hair nice. Okay, so that's why the people is very important. The employees, the management, the culture, and the customer service. For example, in case of the franchise, it's really hard to make the same service, to give the same service for the different clients, because it's the person who gives you that service, and the persons are different, and we are different as well. So it's very significant. The people from whom we got the service will be very significant in this process. The other new P is the process. What do I mean on this? The whole service process, how you get it. Okay, so how are these services are consumed when we would like to get that services? Why is that service is so unique? Okay, for example, when you go to a restaurant, when you go to a cafe or a pizzeria or anything anywhere else, of course we got the pizza as well, but we got a service for this. And what kind of service do I mean? For example, a clean toilet. For example, a very kind and knowledgeable waiter, waitress. Okay, so this can be important too. Yes, in case of the people, I could mention the waiter as well when we order food in a restaurant. So the most important person with whom we will trust will be the waiter. And the physical environment is also important. What do I mean? The physical environment of the hairdresser, the physical environment of the restaurant. Maybe it's only one little thing, but it's important. Where can I park with my car? Because if I cannot park there, then I cannot buy that service if I cannot stop my car. Okay, or the interface, the comfort, the different facilities, or the cleanness nowadays, or in case of this pandemic, the cleanness of the place, that to be in safe. Okay, so don't forget. So we have the 4P, the product, price, place, and promotion. And now we have the people, process, and the physical environment. Okay, so these are the target market. Of course, we have to speak about a little about the product. So product, it's not only a product itself, it will be a service. Okay, so in case of a service, we will speak what are the difference. The price of the service, the cost of the service, how much will I pay for the service? The place, how to sell that service, and the communication, how to communicate, how to advertise that service. And I really like Kotler's saying that every business is a service business. Does your service put a smile on the customer's face? Okay, so what is the difference? What is the similarity? Of course, we have spoken the other three P's, the people, process, and physical evidence. But this Kotler saying that every business is a service business. So we have to put the service into everywhere. Even when you buy an ice cream, for example, Sophia mentioned me that it's a very good weather today in Russia. And maybe some of you will eat an ice cream. Okay, of course, you will get a plus service for that ice cream. Or in case of my lecture now, it's an education service. So I hope you get something more, something different value, something unique value from me. That's why I hope you will like this lecture. Okay. So we always have to think of this, that we give the service business as well. Okay, I would like to put here, why is it so important, the services in the high-tech industry? Unfortunately, I could find only 7-8 years old data, but you can see it that 8 years ago, in case of Xerox, 55% of the total revenue was coming from the service. Okay, so it's really interesting. But in case of Oracle, the primary software gives 46%. And I could say to you that in this last 8 years, of course, it's increased a lot. Okay, so the first row is very interesting, that more than a half of the Xerox company's income, Xerox company's revenue coming from the service. So that is why it's so important. And I put here to you these data from 2016, so 5 years old data, that how the different service sectors are increased, how is it changed. So there are the utilities factor, there was a decrease, 1.1% decrease, but it's so high, it's $571 billion. These numbers are in dollars, you can see it in the title. The transportation and the warehousing, it means $956 billion business. The information, it's increased 6.6%. So it's the data, it's the computer world. The finance and the insurance, it's increased from 2015 to 2016 with 4%. Real estate and rental and leasing, it's increased 4.7%. Professional, scientific, and technical services increased 4.7%. Administrative and support and waste management increased 6.8%. Educational services increased 3.4%. Of course, I would be very, very curious for the last year when there was COVID and we were at home, that how educational services increased and how other assistant services increased. So there are the healthcare and the social assistance services increased more than 5%. Arts, entertainment, and recreation is the same with 5%. And accommodation and food services increased as well more than 5%. And there are other services. So you can see here, these are huge numbers of revenue, huge numbers of profits. And that's why is it so important to speak about the services today. So why customer service is so important? So in this homepage, on the very last line, you can see 11 ways how we can make customers satisfied with the help of the service business. So of course there are correlation, and I would like to speak with you this. So of course the revenue will increase if the customer service is great in case of a company. And we can develop the customer service. We can standardize the customer service. There is the so-called customer service management. And with the help of this managerial tools, we can improve it a lot. And of course, we need happy customers. In December, we learned when we are satisfied, we will say, oh, this service was great. I really recommend you to try this service. So happy customers will make a good reputation for your company. And the retention, how to make our customers to be our customers for years, of course, to make them satisfied, and then hopefully they will buy the services for more years from us. Or the customer care, the churn can be decreased with more customer care. Or the customer lifetime value, if we can improve the customer lifetime value with the customer service. And the sixth point is very interesting. It's really important to make our employees as well happy, because if our employees are happy, then the customers will happy as well. Okay, the company culture is important, because the company culture can improve the customer sentiment. The branding, the brand awareness can make a positive customer experience. The marketing spend lenses can make more customers to be advocated. The valued customer service, it units the goals and the processes. And last but not least, the longevity of the relays can increase the satisfaction. You can read further if you are interested in this topic more. You can read further on this link. There are factors in the service industry that increase the importance of the service business. So what can be these factors? So for example, the increased affluence, the increased leisure time. Of course, we have lots of staffs every day to do. We have to work hard. And that's why the importance of the leisure time, the importance of the free time, the holiday is increased a lot, because we would like to make our free time the best. And there is a changing in the demographic as well. The life expectancy is greater. And that, just think of the elderly. Maybe the elderly will buy more medical service. Okay. And for example, you are the youth, maybe the youth will buy more educational services. Then the complexity of a product, of a service is increased a lot, and there is a technological advancement. The complexity of life is increased. I always feel that the time is always shortened in a day. So I have time for less and less things each day, but I work from 7 o'clock, but sometimes I feel it's not enough. The day is not enough. The 24 hours is not enough. The environmental
Я все
awareness
прослушал,
is
конечно.
also increased, and the number of available products on the books, on the stores, on the shelves,
А,
or
да,
on the web shops are
да, да.
increased a lot. So
Я,
it's
блядь,
really hard to
в
choose.
Инстаграме залип
And
что-то.
sometimes we are choosing according to the plus services. What kind of service do we get for that product? Okay, let's see the very basic of the products and services. I shorten this time to focus on more to the service marketing. Okay, so here you can find the product and the service definition according to Kotler. So product can be anything that you can afford to the market, and the product will raise the attention of the target group, and the target group would like to try that product, would like to consume that product, and they can satisfy their want or their needs. The service is the same, so we can regard the service as a product, but of course it's intangible, so it will be different. So in the second row, you can see that it's always essentially intangible, and the result is not always the same. So when we will go to the same hairdresser and we would like to have the same hair on a picture, we can never have the same hair because our hair quality is different. Our hair color is different. So if we got the same hairdresser, if we go to the same place, the results never will be the same as in case of this pen. Okay, so it's always be intangible a little bit. So a service can be an activity, can be a benefit, can be satisfaction offerings or something like this that is connected to the person, to the physical evidence and to a process. And I put here some services like banking, insurance, hotel services, airline travelings, retailing, wireless communication, or home repair services, for example. I'm sure that you know these levels of products is the same in case of services as well. So in the middle with the red, you can see the core customer value. The core customer value is the problem solving benefits, is the benefits that that product or that service will solve for us. For example, after this lecture, maybe you will be hungry. So the main problem will be what to eat. And of course, the food will be that maybe your favorite food or what you plan for eat will this core benefits to you. What do we want to buy, to really buy? And then the actual product is coming. The actual product can be a service feature. It can be the quality, the brand name, the design, the styling, the packaging. Okay, so that will be what we get. And that is the so-called augmented product. And this is the complete solution. The augmented product, where we really got the product and the service as an integrated way. For example, the delivery service. For example, the variant of the product. Or some kind of product support material, which you can download from the manufacturer homepage, and you can use your product according to that. Or some kind of after sale services. Maybe you buy something in a furniture store and they will deliver to you, for example, that table. Okay, and maybe they will prepare for you that table. It will be an after sale service. What is important? You can see it here. The important thing is to create a unique customer journey, to create a unique customer value, and to satisfy the customers. And don't forget the experience. So we will choose according to the experience. For example, when I'm in a shop and I choose cashier, I always choose a cashier who is smiling, because I can see that maybe that cashier is quicker than the average. Okay, so it's just very stereotype things, but I usually choose according to this. Product and services classification. We can see that there is a consumer product, that a product bought by final consumers, and there are the so-called industrial product that, of course, the B2B companies use this industrial product, but individuals can also buy it. You can see here the grouping of the consumer product and services. So there are the so-called convenience product. For example, these are the consumer product that we usually buy frequently. We buy it ad hoc, immediately, and we won't make comparison. So these are not so pricey product, not so expensive product. The shopping product, we will make a decision here. We will selecting the different information criteria, the different purchasing. We will compare the product features, for example, the quality, the price, and the style. The specialty product, maybe this product has unique characteristics or has special brands, and we will choose this. Or the unsold products, for example, the insurances are usually here, which otherwise we do not want to buy. We won't search for this product, but sometimes these products are needed or services. So if you are interested in this more, you can see here the type of consumer products. So this table summarize you the convenience, shopping, specialty, and unsold products. according to the customer buying behavior, the price, the distribution, the promotion. And you can see here examples. I would like to say to you only the examples. So convenience product, the first, it's everyday products, a toothpaste, a newspaper, anything. Okay, so it can be milk, bread, food products, anything what we buy regularly. The shopping products, maybe it's, I told to you, it's more expensive. So it can be a mobile phone, it can be a furniture, a television, a clothes. Special products, it's, I really emphasize here the brands. So you think of these as a luxury products. Okay, for example, a Rolex watch or something like this. Or the unsold products, I sold the insurance. Okay, so the life insurance is always here. And let's speak some word about the industrial products and services as well. So there are the so-called material and parts. It can be a raw materials, for example, cotton, wheat, fruit, vegetable, fish, or something like this. Or it can be a manufactured material parts, for example, an iron. It can be a small motor, it can be a tire or something like this. And there is the so-called capital items. These are industrial products. There are two kinds. The installation, like buildings and fixed equipment. Building can be, for example, where your office will be. A fixed equipment can be, for example, a notebook in a company or notebook in the university. And accessory equipment can be a portable factory equipment and tools, some hand tools, or office equipment, computers as well, and desk. And the third is the supplies and services. You can see it here. It can be an operating supplies and repair and maintenance item. Operating supplies can be a paper, a pencil, pen, something like this. And repair and maintenance items can be, for example, a paint. And last but not least, I put here this because of the business services. So never forget, when we are speaking about services, never forget the business services, the B2B services. For example, it can be a maintenance and repair services when you ask window cleaning, computer repairing, or something like this. Or it can be a business advisory service. It can be a legal service, a management consulting, advertising service, or nowadays is so popular, a coaching service. I would like to speak to you the service marketing. So this part, this product and service grouping, I think it wasn't so interesting, but I want you to know these types. If you need it, you can come back here. Okay, what is the first what we have speak about the service? That services are products, but these are intangible products. Just think of a concert, a hairdresser, when there is something wrong with your car or with your parents' car and you could go to the repairer. And when we're traveling to somewhere, for example. I group it here to you according to this homepage, the services. So this can be really interesting, I hope. So there are the so-called professional services. For example, when you go to a dentist, when you need some engineer advice, legal advice, accounting advice, okay? So educational advice, these are the professional services. Then there will be the business services, for example, to asking to make a financial planning, a marketing strategy planning, or mailing services, a training, a coaching, a consulting, something like this. Then there is the so-called counseling services, for example, a marriage, or when we would like to wait some loss, or there are service providers who will make your career planning. Okay, transportation services, for example, the trucking, limousine service, car rental services, taxi cab services, the personal services, for example, a pet grooming or a catering or a tailor and seamstresses or a wedding planning service, restaurants and lodging, family restaurants, hotel, cottages, Social services, it can be an individual or family service, child daycare, maybe in the big shopping mall. You can see that there is a child place, playground, for example. During your shopping, they will take care for your child. Or, as how I mentioned, there is a so-called maintenance services. For example, an automobile or bicycle or something like this, when they make a preparation on your bicycle. We can group the services in another way, that we can see the governmental services like courts, employment services, hospitals, military services, policeman services, and so on, or schooling. There are the private, not-for-profit organizational services, like a museum, when we go to a museum, or when we go to a church, or colleges, or hospitals as well. And the business organizational services, like banks, hotels, insurance, medical and legal practices, or telecommunication companies, something like this. Maybe you will remember for this. So governmental, private, not-for-profit organization, and business organizational services. And this is one of the most important in case of services. These 4 words. Please try to remember for this. I will ask in Kahoot as well.
Oh my God.
Intangibilities is one important thing. So we cannot see the services, we cannot taste it, cannot feel it, cannot hear it, or smell it before purchase. We buy it, and then we eat the pizza. We buy it, and then we will see our hair, and so on. Inseparability. What does it mean? We cannot separate the services from the people, from the provider. So cannot separate it from the people, from the brand, from the physical evidence, so from the provider from whom we got these services. Variability, what does it mean? The quality of the service is really depends on the provider. It really depends on the people. So it's always different. And the perishability, the services cannot be stored for later sale, for later use. Okay, so we got it at once at that time, and we will use it at that time. Okay, so again, intangibility, inseparability, variability, and perishability, what is important in case of the services. And the nature and the characteristic of the services, what we should thinking about, what we should thinking about. So this intangibility, again, that we cannot try it before we purchase it. We can have it only after paying, and we will be satisfied or dissatisfied. The inseparability, that it's directly connected to the service providers, to the person. That's why I think most of us has a friendship with the hairdresser, because it's a really important thing, that who do you trust enough to make something with your hair? Or this is the same as the medical services and the private medical services. I don't know what the situation in Russia, but here in Hungary, the dentist is, so we usually choose dentist according to a private dentist, a private service provider, because private dentists are better, and the physical environment and everything is cleaner than in the governmental dentist. And the teeth is really important, and it's really take lots of money if there is some problem. And it's a trustable thing as well. So I will only trust in my dentist, who is our friend as well. Okay, so it's inseparability. So inseparable. So it's directly connected to our friends, to our service providers. The variability, that the service is always different. It's different. Where do we get that service? Where do we get it? And then so on.
Thank you.
I have been to Moscow some years ago. I think it's more than 10 years. I don't know when. And I went to a conference, and I got a really unique present. We got a theater ticket to the Bolshoi Theater. And it was one of my life experience to be there. I never thought that once I can be there and once I can see that theater, that playings. And to tell you the truth, it was a Tchaikovsky playing, and I didn't know the story, but I can remember the story, even if I didn't understand the word. But I can remember the story. It was such a unique experience. Okay, last but not least, the perishability, that we cannot store the service. We go to the hairdresser, on that day our hair will be very nice, and for the next day we sleep a good, and our hair, or we train a good, we go to run or something like this, and our hair will completely different. Okay, so we cannot stock our hair, unfortunately. So what are the top 5 trends in case of professional services in 2021? The mobilization, the ultra personalization. Just think of your mobile phone, just think of the different application, how you personalize your mobile phone services, the marketing automation, the empowered technology, and the marketing centric movements. Okay, so always think of this marketing centric customer experience, customer relationship management. You can read further from these top 5 trends on the below link. Okay, and I would like to speak to you about the marketing strategies for the service firms. So how could we imagine this service profit chain? So this service profit chain has 5 links, which are the followings. So there is the so-called internal service quality. What does it mean, this internal service quality? It's a superior employee selection and training, a quality work environment, and a strong support for those dealing with customers. Okay, so yes, when you go, for example, your mobile phone provider, so there is the front office employees and the back office employees. The front office employees will be that employees with whom you will speak to. And it's very important that the front office employees should be trained regularly, because they will make you satisfied or dissatisfied. In the back office, maybe there will be the telecommunication providers. They will train differently because they were speaking to you on phone. Okay, so the front office employees will be trained differently because they will meet to you personally. The satisfied and productive service employees. What does it mean? It's always has a primary importance to make the client satisfied, to communicate with the clients well, to give a solution for to the clients for the questions. Because in this way, we can make the clients committed, we can make the clients loyal, and it will be results in the increase of the revenue, you can see it. Or a greater service value. What does it mean? It means efficiency, effective and efficient customer value creation. So we will create the value to our customers and we will get a service delivery. So, for example, at Christmas time, when I go to my hairdresser, of course, I always give her a present for Christmas, but I always got a present. I always got a shampoo and a hair mask to my hair from my hairdresser. And this is her Christmas present. So it's something unique, what only she could give to me. Okay, so that's why I will choose her again. And she can increase efficiency in this way. Satisfied and loyal customers. So how to make customers loyal, how to make customers satisfied. So the second point, it was the service employees, to make service employees satisfied. So if you will be an employee, so there will be an employment, you always have to deal with employees in a different way, because you have to communicate with your employees to give them a better option And in this way, maybe your employees will be satisfied, more satisfied than other ways. And healthy service profits and growth. What does it mean? It can be, for example, a superior service, a firm performance, or something like this. And how we can manage these services according to the how we can differentiate our service from our competitors. So of course, definitely there will be a price competition in that market. So we can differentiate our services according to our offers. Maybe in some hotels there are automatic and very quick hotel registration. You can make your registration from home or from the plane on the mobile phone, and when you enter into the hotel, then you will get the paper, it's printed, and you have to only sign it. Okay. Or is the same with the car rental, that you can make every paperwork from home, or the banking, the e-banking, that you can make anything from home. Okay. The delivery service, for example, in case of online shopping, the home delivery things, and the image, the symbols, and the branding. In December, we speak about the colors in case of branding, that every color has a different meaning. And for example, if you can think it back, it's, for example, McDonald's, Burger King, and this like this, use red and yellow. And if you can remember that red increase our hunger. Okay, so that's why they use these colors, because they know this. So it has a great importance that what color will you choose for your brand. And I also mentioned to you that blue and yellow increase attention the most. Okay. Or for example, pink. In case of pink, I mentioned to you that usually the cookies is packaged to pink because it tastes sweeter if something is in pink. It's very interesting. Okay, managing service quality. So it's important that who is our target audience and what is our target audience expect from us, expect from the product, expect from the service, what quality do they want. The customer retention, we can measure the customer retention according to the quality. I mean, if we can retain our customers, then hopefully our service quality is okay. Service recovery can turn angry customers into loyal ones. So it's very important that how do you deal with the angry customers. Of course, there will be always angry customers, and you have to communicate with them nicely. You have to speak to them, and you have to offer something extra, something plus, to make them committed, to make them loyal. We always have to deliver higher quality than our competitors. Of course, we always will check the competitor services as well, and we have to provide something unique, something better, and making customer-driven quality as a movement. Productivity, the managing the service productivity. What does it mean? The cost will always rising, the service cost and everything. So that's why we have to provide a great quality, because we are under pressure to increase the service productivity. But how you can increase it? A hairdresser couldn't make, for example, with 5% more a day. Okay, so the time is limited. That how can you increase the productivity in case of services? It's very interesting. So of course we have to train the employees better, maybe, or we have to hire new employees who are more skillfully, who works maybe harder than the existing employees. Or we can increase somehow the quantity of the service, maybe more hairdresser in one shop, one salon. And there are lots of advantage in case of a service industry. So it's really hard to say. Sometimes my students ask where should they go to work, where should they go for a work. And sometimes they are choosing service business, or they can choose manufacturer business as well. And we are in the marketing department, we have the tourism department as well. And of course, in case of this pandemic situation, the tourism decreased, the tourism sector decreased a lot. So this can be a disadvantage of the service industry, that it can globally change, it can globally influence, and maybe the needs of the people will change. And that's why it's not so sure as a manufacturer things, as a manufacturer company. But there are lots of advantages as well in the service industry. So what can it be? The startup costs can be lower than if you wanted to make a plantation, you would like to produce a product, maybe you have to invest more than to a service. For example, just thinking of how I mentioned, this coaching is very popular. What is this coaching? They communicated with you, and there are different topics. The topics can be your job, it can be your life, I mean your marriage, or your problem with your marriage, or with your kids. It can be, for example, a sport coaching for sportmen if they have some problems. So there are lots of fields of this coaching, and the coach will speak to you regularly. The coach will ask your problems, but the coach never will say the solution. You have to say the solution, but you will thinking of more on that problem, and that's how you can get this solution. And why do I say that the startup cost is low? Because you can make this coaching online, so you do not have to rent an office. Of course, you have to build yourself up. You have to read lots of coaching books. You have to make a coaching exam. You have to practice coaching regularly. Okay, so you have to invest, but not as much as if you could start to produce Coke or something like this. The lack of inventory, the lack of manufacturing, we mentioned it, enables local marketing. If I would like to start this coach, maybe local marketing would be enough for me, or an online marketing company would be enough for me. Or adaptable to changing wants and needs. Okay, so in the manufacturer plantations, it takes time, and it has high cost to adapt the changing criteria. And maybe in case of services, you can change faster. Okay, you can see more information on these websites. Only one PPT from the International Service Marketing. I only put this PPT because I do not want you to forget about the International Service Marketing. It has a great importance. Just some words. So lots of services going global. The first to grow internationally, it was the bank industry, of course. Okay, so the commercial banking industry. So it was a finance service providers. Why this was the first? Because banks go global. I mean, they enter into foreign markets for the very first time. And then the professional and the business service industries, like management consulting, like legal consulting, like marketing consulting, as a advertising, go global secondly. And then the retailers, when the home markets are saturated, they are expanding into faster growing markets abroad. So maybe on the Netflix, you could see a movie, Founder. Its title is Founder. It's about the McDonald's story. So the McDonald's is not the best quality. There are, for example, I'm sure that in Russia, there are better hamburgers than you eat in the McDonald's. And in Hungary, there are better hamburgers than in the McDonald's. But McDonald's was the first whose market was saturated in the United States. And that's why they enter into Europe and Russia and so on, all over the world. Okay, it's not because that this was the best quality. It's not because that this was for the best offer. Okay, so the retailers, when their home market is saturated, they usually enter into foreign market. And what about the other trends? that the global service companies will continue. For example, the telecommunication. The last PPT will be about this online communication software as Zoom and so on. That how is it developed in the last year because of the pandemic. And now your favorite and my favorite part as well. I would like to say to you some practical case study about service marketing, and I hope you will remember for this. Okay, so on the PPT, the link is always underneath, so you can read it more. So I bring you 3 bad customer service case studies. It's all the 3 is on this homepage, so you can read further. So what's happened with this T-Mobile company? So of course, they has a customer had a call to the T-Mobile office that he has some problem with his new phone, and he couldn't get the help, and he decided to reach a for carrier on the Twitter. And the T-Mobile team could handle the situation not the best way, because the employee who dealt with this customer changed the customer name to idiot, which the customer saw on the next time when he logged in his account. And of course, he posted it on the Facebook, on every social media site, and it wasn't a good advertisement for the T-Mobile that one of the employees of the T-Mobile called one of the client an idiot. Okay, so what is the lesson what we have to learn from this? So of course, this T-Mobile is a famous brand, so they have to provide excellent service, and even behind the scenes, an employee never can call a client an idiot. Okay.
Oh my God.
So of course, you have to train these employees, you have to speak with these employees, but it should be normal that they never change the name on this. Okay, so it was a really, really bad customer service of T-Mobile. You can read further from this case on this homepage. The second bad experience was with Air Transat. It's an airline company. It's happened 4 years ago in 2017 in July, where passengers were diverted to Ottawa. It happens, okay, but what was the problem with this? That the passengers being stranded on the tarmac for more than 4 hours, without any food, without any water, and without air conditioning. And the airline and the airport continually came up with excuses that they blamed each other, why these customers doesn't get anything. And it's led to that the customers said they will never fly Air Transat again. So it was a really bad and negative advertisement. What is the lesson what we have to learn from this? That okay, they make mistakes and they didn't provide a service for the necessities of their customers. It was an unexpected delay, of course, and it wasn't the mistake of the Air Transat. But they should give some extras, because it's a negative situation itself that the passengers has to wait more than 4 hours. Okay, so they should get something extras. I was in the same situation. I came from Armenia to Hungary, and there's no direct flight, and I could came from to Armenia to the Ukraine and then to Hungary. And in Kiev, I have to wait at least 5 hours, but it was said that I have to wait there 5 hours, but they put extra 2 hours to it. And the solution was that they give us extra sandwiches, they give us extra Coke, mineral waters, and so on, because it was extra 2 hours. Okay, so they have the practice for this. The practice is usually to give something plus, to give something extra. And last but not least, the Apple, maybe you experienced this, so they decided to slow down the old devices with different programs, and it was told to the customers that the failure is because they wanted to
Можно они
preserve the
пойду
battery life
в
in the
Катун,
phones,
в Кахут,
and
вернее, потому что я
the
вообще не
problem
слушаю
was the lack
лекции.
of the
Я ДЗ делаю.
transparency that angered the customers, that they
Ну,
didn't
по-английски.
communicate it well. So it was very annoying when our phone was slowed down. And the end was that the Apple company apologized from the customers, and they offer a discount when they wanted to change the battery replacement. Maybe you experienced this. I experienced this. I got my husband iPhone 4, and it was slow. There was nothing problem with the phone at all. But I couldn't use it because it was so slow. I couldn't
Да,
wait
жиза,
for
это
the
мой
phone
iPhone сейчас.
every
Я
day.
вообще не... И
So
компьютер,
I
блядь.
really experienced it, and it was
Они
very
такие
annoying
медленные.
because the first idea was that they make it because they want me to buy the new and expensive Apple 6 and then so on. Okay, so it wasn't a good promotion for
Сколько
Apple,
вот
I
11
guess.
стоит? 50?
And what is the lesson that we have to learn from this? That despite of the good intention, I don't think so it was a good intention, but of course this is the advertisement and this is the marketing part. If you action negatively impact customers, you need to err on the side of the transparency. You have to communicate it well. Okay. It was in the situation in the previous part as well. So Air Transat didn't start the communication with the consumers. So it was the problem as well. And here in Apple as well. And I would like to show to you some positive feedbacks. You know, I'm a big animal lover and I always try to find examples with animals. So what happens with this Juan company? It's a pet protection network, increases revenue with 53%. It was only of the survey feedback. In December, we made a lecture on marketing research. And we spoke that we have to build the results of the marketing research into our services and into our products. This one company, you can see it here in the dog, manufacture these little tags for pets, and these tags helps owners to find the pet if the pet goes away. Okay, and the very first message of the company will be they emphasize the technical features. What kind of technical features? That this tag don't emit harmful radiation, this tag is water resistant, and have a replaceable 1-year battery. And what happens? They make a customer feedback survey, and they discovered that the owners, the pet owners, buy this tag because they are worrying that the animal, the pet will go away, and they can find their pet according to this tag. And they changed the message. What was the new message? Keep your pet safe and prevent heartbreak. One smart tags help you find your missing pet automatically. And only with this changing the messaging according to the customer feedback, they can increase the revenue with 53%. It's really amazing, isn't it? You can read about this more on this homepage. Okay, so you can read from this story. So in this case study, you can see that what depends on a good messaging. So you always have to plan the message according to the target audience needs. And of course, I don't care about the technical features. What is important to find my dogs if my dog is run away. Okay. And that's why they make an emotional message, not a rational message. And that's what the change, and it's worse. This message worse. And I wanted to show to you another case. So this company, this Shanti, talking to new customers, let's start to change strategy. So they change the strategy, and in this way they can increase the sales with almost 20%. So what happens here? Their messaging is focusing on pricing. They always emphasize that their product is almost 50% less expensive than the best known competitor. And then the team started to speak to the customers, and they know the customer demands, their needs, their opinion, and they discovered that most people had switched from the competitor for different reason. What was this reason? It's always important in case of a service business. These reasons were the ease of use, the better functionality, or a better experience with the customer support team, a better mobile application, or something like this. And the team changed the strategy. They make a marketing focus, and these product attributes and only listed pricing in the very end of the additional benefits. And what happens? The CEO said that it turned out that this was the way to go because we attracted people who wanted a better experience rather than just customers who wanted to save money. Okay, so what was important? We always think that price is important, the money is important, but not only the money, the value, the unique experience is also important. And after 6 months, they can increase their sales by almost 20%. So it's also amazing. You can find the story underneath this link. And last but not least, I wanted to show to you something about Zoom. So of course, because of the pandemic, we were closed and we have to change the education as well for online. And earlier you haven't heard, I guess, about Zoom, about Google Meets or this chat opportunity. We know maybe the Messenger, we know Skype, like this. And on this figure, you can see that from January, from the end of January to the midst of May in the last year, how Zoom varies the 7 largest airlines stock performances. So of course nobody could travel, nobody bought an air ticket, and that's why in the stock exchange there were a big decrease for these airline companies. While on the other hand, you can see that the Zoom make really enormous increase. You can see it here with data. So you can see here it's a Zoom boom. I like its name. You can see it. Sorry, you can see it up. I hope this. Yes, Zoom boom. Why is it Zoom boom? Now Zoom is worth more than the top 7 airlines combined. Okay, so if we add the top 7 airlines, and if we watch the Zoom will worth more. And you can see the data here, and you can read the articles here. So that's what I told to you. I wanted to finish with this thinking, my lecture, that the service business is never, so it's always changing, the service business. If there is a global situation like this pandemic, or there is a global fashion change or something like this, the service, you have to change the service. Okay, so that's why it's always a little bit difficult, because you have to know your consumers, you have to know your business really well. And this is one of the most important message of this service marketing lecture today, that this is the basic, that how to make a good service marketing. I put here a case study. If you have more time and you are interested into the topic, you can find here a longer case study. I really recommend this to read, because it's very interesting, and maybe you will understand customer service better. And I would like to play with you now, and we can speak the questions. Let's play first, Sophia, or speak the questions. What do you think?
I got questions.
I think we can ask our students if anybody has questions for now.
Как она перекинула, да?
Silent.
Сейчас, знаешь, что сейчас очень будет?
Arsan, see that you
Let's
like your
play.
questions. Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's play. Okay, maybe after playing. So please, I will start the play. Let's enter to kahoot.it. Okay.
Okay.
I share my screen again. You can see here the pin. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so please join to the game.
Я не знаю, мне стоит участвовать или нет. Я вообще ничего не слушал. Я в институте стал потом домашку делать. Давай. У меня просто интернет
Okay,
лагучий.
so you are the first. Sophia the second.
Yeah.
Arsen. Maria.
Восемьсот 89, 28. Milena. 89, 28.
We are still waiting because there are a lot more students, I guess. So I hope you can. Yeah, Nara, great.
Ладно, я зайду.
Some of students
Ruslan.
are new. Maybe
Hello.
they're not
Do
used
they know
Ильна.
how to play it?
this Kahoot.
I think we know.
Here is the link. Yeah.
Yes, the link is here. You can see here kahoot.it.
Какая разница?
You have to put this into your computer or into your phone.
Стой, я вообще 12 смотрел зачем-то. Я что, мудак, что ли? А, вот. Нет, нет.
There are 8 students. Sophia, help me, please. How many are we in the Zoom? I do not want to change now in the...
In Zoom, 14 students.
How many?
14 is us, so it's
14. Okay, still waiting.
a bit.
Evening name on
But
screen.
Sophia, if you want, you can help them in Russian.
Yes.
Maybe it's helpful for them how to come.
Да нормально, блин, Станислав.
Ребят, нужно в поисковике забить вот www.it. Потом зайти на этот сайт, и у вас спросят код. Потом спросят имя. Его можно написать, собственно, и на русском, и на английском, но желательно на английском.
Let's play. Ну, пожалуйста. Я что, уже, ни хера не это. Я сфоткал только вот эти. Он, не знаю, что она сказала, очень важно запомнить, я в Кахусе спрошу, я это сфоткал. Intangibility. How stored for that salary. Я, если что, сфоткал. Stored for that. Надеюсь. Меня я не хочу, я не хочу. Там первые 3 показываются или 5? 5, да? Вот это хреново. Да let's play, все. 6, сколько у нас? 9, нормально. 5 не хотят, они ушли с зума. Надо было, Арсен, тебе под ником заходить этот кунилит. Рад. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Haven't lost people.
Yes, we have 9 and now we have 7.
Давайте быстрее, я хочу бегать пойти. Я сейчас еще потеряю меня. Ладно, смотри, сейчас знаешь, что плохо?
8, okay. 9,
Nine.
great.
Let's
I
play.
think we can start.
Okay, I started.
Ой,
Если кому-то нужно, можно попросить помощи, да.
помогите с ответом. Quiz. In
In the
case of
case of
service.
service marketing, the +3P means
Че? Не знаю. Но я нажал красный. Да. О, блин.
people, process, and physical environment. We have four good answers. And Maria was the first, and Ruslan is the second, and you can see here.
Это важно еще.
True or false? The core customer value is a problem-solving benefits. True or false?
Что такое core customer? Core. Я, короче, true нажал, похер.
It's true. Alexandra was the first now.
Блин, Мария. Надо шкале погнать.
Augmented product can be
О,
brand name, consumer service, design, problem-solving benefits.
блин. Я синюю нажал. Я не знаю. Я реально типа, быстрее бы ответить. О, коррект.
Consumer services was the good answer.
Oh, I'm
The
on
first line is
fire.
coming up.
The world was on
And
fire. True or
True or
false?
false? Shopping product. Customers usually buy frequently, immediately, and with minimal comparison and buying effort. True or false?
Shopping? Immediately? Короче, я false нажал, Арсен. Потому что я когда вещи покупаю, но если она имеет в виду шопинг, это же...
It was false. It was the convenient product, maybe.
Ага,
You change.
нихера себе. Мы
Okay.
в огне. А почему у меня лагает?
True or false again? Services are products, two intangible ones. True or false?
Я true нажал, потому что... Я true нажал, потому что...
It's true. Great. Everybody knows the answer. This
Oh
was
my
the
god, we are
first
so great
question. Everybody knows
students!
it.
Everybody knows! Easy.
Characteristics of services are which are from the followings?
Integrability, inseparability, variability и perishability. Да, зелененькая, да. Вроде, если я все правильно сделал. Variability главное. Да, зелененькая. Да, это зелененькая. Я прям у меня скрин перед
The
этим.
first one.
Yes. А что ответ говорят?
Alexandra is coming up. The advantages of service industry
Lower startup
can be
cost, lack of... Ну, пошли, мне я, короче, просто...
It was a tricky question, sorry for me. So all the four answer was good. Okay. So
Нет.
these four features were the advantage. Ilnara is coming up. True or false? Despite good intention, if your actions negatively impact customers, you need to err on the side of transparency. It was in case of Apple. Just remember back to the case.
Я не знаю импакт. Err on the side of transparency. Я false нажал. Я не знаю, что делать.
Yes, it was true.
Ну, все,
And
я вниз пошел.
last question. Alexandra and Sid is coming up.
Oh my god.
Let's see the last question. True or false again? Brands should provide excellent service even behind the scenes to create an outstanding experience for customers.
Ну, тут
It
по-любому.
was the T-Mobile case.
Я нажал true, потому что я считаю это правильным. И это, да, может быть, не true, но, на мой взгляд, Прикинь, я микрофон включит.
Yes, it was true. Let's see the
Давай.
results.
Нифига себе, пацаны. First
Okay,
place.
Alexander is the third. Alexander gives 7 good
Молодца.
answer from the 9.
Мы
Arsen
опять
is the second. Only is
бурилы.
a mistake of 1.
Бурилы.
Ruslan is the first. And we can see that Ruslan was faster. And Sid is the
Yes.
fourth. And Maria is the fifth.
Чисто не слушал лекцию.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now I'm coming back to you. And I'm really waiting for your question. If you have any question about service marketing, you can see it's not easy to make a service marketing efficient and well, because it's always concerning the people, and the people are different. And that's why we cannot standardize the quality of the services. I think this was the main message in case of the service marketing. Sid, do you have a good question in your mind?
Yeah, I don't really have any questions. I only remembered some other examples of cases one can present for this topic. Like, for example, with Apple, there was this transparency issue, but currently WhatsApp is going through right the opposite. Like they are transparent that in different countries they have different privacy policies for their apps, and customers require equality.
Yes, it's different by
Yeah.
countries. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
and also when you were talking about adding additional value to the product, it reminded me of something very recent, the cryptocurrencies, and some countries are banning it, but the discourse inside them is in general is that countries and governments will accept them, but there will be added something to them, for example, saving the environment or tying into some other social service or something like that. So yeah,
Yes,
so
it's true.
that was also an example of adding value. As for the questions, I don't really have any for the today's lecture. Thank
Sid,
you.
what is the key message what you bring with you after this lecture? So what was the key message for you about service
Бля,
marketing?
если меня спросят, то все.
That it's probably the most flexible thing out there.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much for being here. Arzan, are you here? So what was interesting for you? What was new for you in case of service marketing? Or do you have any question? Don't be shy to ask something. Thank you, Arzan. Okay, anybody else?
Тихо, тихо.
Okay, tomorrow I prepare a lecture about digital marketing, and it will
Я
be
просто не слушал.
social media marketing. So I hope it will be interesting for you. I try to make my best. I have a half-year subject for the MBA students called digital marketing, and this is only one lecture. This is the part of it, and I try to summarize it to you well, and I try to find good cases, good case studies, and I try to find you good movies to see, which is dealing with social media marketing. So I hope that tomorrow we can meet here again. I will give the word to back to Sophia. Sophia, do you have any question, or would you like to emphasize something for
Я
your
тоже не
students?
слушала.
Actually, I think it is very important to talk about marketing in social sphere and also in digital marketing. And for Russia, these topics are quite new, actually, and all materials are translating from different languages, not so I think it will be interesting also for our students to talk about it. Maybe they have some question, but a little bit shy to ask, or maybe thinking about. Because you know, this sphere, this topics, marketing, and also marketing and service, it's just a small piece that we can give in our usual programs. Yeah.
I
So
see.
yes, so for us it's very important to talk about it, and it became very big sphere, and a lot of people are involved in this, like customers, yes, and sometimes we make our products, our ideas for, yes, for this sphere. So maybe somebody have questions.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
a question
Спаситель,
which
спаситель.
came to me right now.
Came to my mind.
So we are talking about customer service, but
That's-
in some businesses, in some areas, it's important to have a proper how do I say it? Like a proper need from the customer which he requires. For example, it cannot be something ambiguous. So, like in some highly technical skills, or maybe in fields like art, some businesses require customer to be more specific and require customer to be more educated in this particular topic. So how to tackle low education level of the customers?
Question, a hard question. So I think not easy to answer. So how we train our employees? The employees always have to be very careful with the customers, because maybe the customers are not educated enough, and that's why always have to ask simple questions, always have to say the problems in a very simple way, step by step, and maybe in this way it can work, but it's always depend on the two people. So see, it's very hard to answer, because I think these employees got a special training, which the topic is there, maybe the uneducated people, how to deal with them, how to communicate it with them. I can only think of this, that maybe they have some process, they have some steps how to solve their problems in a adequate way. I can only imagine this. Was this your question, Sid, or it
Yeah,
was
more or less. Yeah, thank you.
okay? Okay, thank you. I always very concentrate on your questions, because I really like that you always say it long, but sometimes I'm not sure that we are thinking the same or not. So that's why I always ask back. Sorry.
I think it's normal, actually.
Bullshit.
So, any other questions?
Нет. Просто. Хватит.
Ruslan, do you have question? You are
Yeah.
so active. Or Alexander, do you have question?
О,
You are
вот
so good
Александр.
in the game.
Okay.
They keep silent.
Thank you.
Yes.
Я
Yes.
просто... А на чем мне говорить?
So,
Thank you very much. It's clear, and I hope I will see you tomorrow. That's it. I really appreciate that you come here and teach us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruslan. I'm really happy, and thanks to Sophia and Maria that I can be here. It's always a great experience to me that we can be together online in Zoom. Thank you.
А завтра что у нас? Да и похрен. Я вообще на пару не ходил.
I think everybody are already waiting for tomorrow.
Yes.
Preparing, getting ready.
Yes. Then I wish you a nice night. How many is the clock? What's the time there, Sophia?
Time here is 8:30.
Oh, then have a good rest and have a good supper. And
Mhm.
I guess tomorrow we will meet at the same time here. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Naomi. Thank you for everybody. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Mhm.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
О, да.